welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide. So today's episode is all about how to deal with the winter blues because sometimes winter just sucks and it feels like it's the worst time in the world. I know I've been feeling that way because it has been absolutely freezing when I have been going on my runs from outside. Well, no, actually, the weather's been like crazy weird. So we had a bunch of snow like almost a month ago, and it very recently melted in the past like 2 or 3 days because there was a bunch of rain, and the temperatures have been I don't really know if this is like winter anymore. I feel like it's a transitional period between winter and spring because then pretty soon it's gonna be getting warmer, like as we go through February and into March. So yeah. Let's see. But today it was like cold, very cold. So one week it is insane. It's like literally in the 50s and 60s. The next week it is snowing. The other week it is raining like crazy. And then literally the next day it's like 2 degrees outside, like no joke. The feels like have gotten to the negatives, and I was just like, what the heck? The weather is crazy. So yeah, like when I went on my runs, like sometimes when it's been really cold this winter, I have literally been wearing leggings under sweatpants and a full sleeve shirt under a sweatshirt plus some gloves to make sure my hands don't freeze to frostbite and get amputated because I don't need my fingers to be amputated. Um, And I know it's gonna get a lot worse. Well, it did get a lot worse. I wrote this script a long time ago, so whoopsies. Yeah, I kind of want it to be November again because up until like the last week of November, it was mostly in the 50s and 60s, with some days being up to friggin' 80. Like I remember on Halloween, it was like me and my friends last year we were freezing our butts off on Halloween. Like my fingers would literally not extend the whole way. Me and my friends, because it was so damn cold outside. And this year we were freaking sweating because it was literally almost 80 degrees outside. I'm like, is this Halloween or is this like some holiday in summer? Like I don't know. Um, so that was fun. But the weather was good, or I want it to be like summer again. But hey, we can't time travel, at least not yet. So we have to do what we have to learn how to use this and turn it into something positive and make it more fun. So I had an episode on how to get yourself into the winter spirit, and this episode's going to be pretty similar. If you haven't already, you should go listen to that episode. Okay, so that was kind of long, but before moving on, let's do one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy about, plus our book of the week. And actually, before that, we have to do our podcast updates and life updates. So my goal for the end of February was to get to 1,000 plays. I do not think that's gonna happen because February just started and I'm at 855. So it would take like a friggin' miracle to get 150 plays in a month. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. So my new goal is like at this rate maybe the end of March. I'm hoping I can get to 1,000. I really hope I do. But maybe you guys can prove me wrong and make a miracle happen. So like yeah, keep listening to this podcast, follow it, rate it, share with everyone you know because everyone deserves to know how to turn their lives around and or to just improve their lives. So yeah, I would be very thankful if you did that. And that's pretty much it. That and then life updates. I've just been feeling like so weird lately. Like literally yesterday. I was supposed to get these 2 weeks ago, but I got my teacher recommendations for my high school classes. And I just stared at them for like 5 minutes straight. And I was like, I'm gonna freaking cry because and now I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna freaking cry because like I don't wanna go to high school. High school is stressful and like I'm not ready to give up my freaking childhood yet and be like college worried. I don't know, like worried about college and worried about life because I don't want to be. And I'm like this close to crying because like every single time I think about high school and all that stress and everything, I just want to cry and or throw up or crawl in a hole and die. Maybe all three at once. And that's just what I did. In something. I'll explain that in a minute. That's what I wrote in a freaking letter. Anyways, so yeah, I've just been feeling kind of sad. Like I don't want to do this. My classes were good though. I just have to figure out what to do about my math class. My mom is gonna have to shoot an email to my teacher to try and change the class because I'm in grade level, and my goal is to hopefully major in like architecture or business, or maybe do like a major minor kind of thing with those two. So I need math for either of those. So being in grade level math all throughout high school is definitely not gonna help me. So I'm trying to get my math up. And if that doesn't work, then I guess I'm gonna have to do 2 hours of math work a day, every single day, this whole summer, just to catch up. And then maybe and then some, because I'm pretty sure it overlaps with the 2 school years. So that's not fun, but I'm really hoping it changes. I do not think it will, but so I'm probably gonna have to end up taking a math course over the summer, but it will be worth it. It's one summer I think I'll survive. Plus, it's like there's a lot of hours in a day in the summer. In the summer, so like if I had school and all these other things going on, then yeah, 2 hours a day would be a lot. Like I spend that much on homework sometimes in a day when there's like a ton of schoolwork, but 2 hours a day in the summer, like what am I doing in the summer? Okay, literally nothing. So it's not that big of a deal for me at least. And I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that later, but unimportant. So something I actually started doing was writing a letter to my future self because next week's episode is like falling in love with yourself and like how to spend time alone, that kind of thing. Because Valentine's Day is coming up Friday, so yeah, thought that would be a fun episode to do. And then one of the ideas I put was like journaling, and then with that, like a twist, you can write a letter to your future self. And I was just really bored yesterday. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start writing a letter to my future self. So, like I said, with like the throwing up, crying, all of that in my letters to my future self, because when I read this at the end of the year, I want to read it at the end of the year. I'm gonna be in high school. I'm gonna be in East Country High School actually. So yeah, and what was I saying? Yeah, and I was just like, well, right now, the thought of high school just makes me want to cry or throw up or die in a hole or maybe cry while throwing up, waiting to die in a hole. So that was that. I had a really good grind yesterday, and then I had to go freaking eat dinner, so that was not fun. But I'm having a lot of fun writing this, even though it's just me rambling on a bunch of things. Like I filled up a whole page with just a whole bunch of rambling, absolute rambling about me freaking out about going to high school. So but it was really fun. So I definitely think that's something you should do. I'm thinking of actually reading it on the podcast, like in my life updates section on next week's episode. Because I'm probably gonna have it done by then. Like I spent a lot of time on this yesterday, and even though there's a ton I want to talk about, I have like lots of free time that I can spend working on this, at least an hour every day. So I feel like I'm gonna get it done within the next week, and then I will read it and then lock it up and figure out where to put it, and then like do something so I remember to read it at the end of the year because the end of the year is a long time away. So yeah. But if you guys aren't into writing a physical letter like I'm doing in a notebook, I discovered this thing while I was searching up like prompts for writing a letter to your future self, and there's this thing called Future Me, and it's like you can write a digital letter to yourself, and you schedule when you want it to be sent to yourself, and it will send it to you. So if you're someone that is definitely gonna lose or like forget about the letter, I would definitely do that. I think I'm planning on typing up that letter just in case because I feel like I'm gonna lose it or like something's gonna happen or I'm gonna completely forget. So I'm planning on typing up my letter and doing that just in case. But like I just felt like having a physical letter would be like I don't know better because physical letters are like dying. No one uses those anymore. So I felt like well why not? And also I don't want to spend that much time in front of the screen writing and like thinking. Um, so yeah, I've just been like trying to cut back on screen time pretty much since forever. So limiting screens when I can, and just typing up the final product will take a lot less time than typing it to begin with. So yeah, okay. I am just rambling like crazy now. Okay, so one thing I'm happy about is the fact that the snow actually melted. I am chaotic. Okay, one thing I'm grateful for, then one thing I'm happy about. So look at the week. Okay, so one thing I'm grateful for is probably like my dryer because earlier this week, my dryer just stopped working. I don't know what the heck happened. It just did not work and it would not turn on no matter what cycle I put it to, no matter what new my mom did. And then it started smacking at some point, and my mom was like, "Stop, you're gonna hurt your hand." And I'm like, "Weren't you doing this?" I'm pretty sure he was doing that at some point. We just started smacking the dryer. It did not work. But so when your dryer breaks down or just stops working, do not smack the dryer. It's gonna hurt your hand and it's not gonna work. So, little lesson from me. But the dryer just stopped working, and I never realized how grateful I was to have a dryer until now, when there are clothes hanging on every surface you can hang clothes on. Um, so yeah, there's just clothes everywhere in the laundry room, the master bedroom, my own closet, the chair that I'm sitting on. And if I didn't use my desk so often, yeah, there would be clothes hanging off here too. So yeah, and my mom was like, "You should just put like trash bags and bean bags, dump all the clothes on there." I was like, "That's not a bad idea." She's like, "Well, where are you gonna find all the trash bags from?" I'm like, "Fair point." So yeah, Like there's just clothes everywhere. So I never realized how grateful I was to have a dryer until now because clothes everywhere, like I said. So if you have a dryer and a washing machine, be grateful for them because I'm currently having to deal with no dryer. So yeah. Like some of my shirts are literally taking 2 days to dry. I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I have to figure out how to put my outfits with a bunch of wet clothes. Moving on, one thing I'm happy about is the fact that the snow finally melted. So yeah, like I said, we got snow like January 6th, 7th, and I think ever since then, so almost a month. And then the past few days, it's been like on and off rain and stuff. So the snow finally melted, and then like temperatures too, they've been up in the 40s. Today was like below freezing for some of the day. And like hovering at freezing, like 32, 33. So that was not fun. I took on my run during that. It was freezing cold. But yeah, the snow finally melted. There's just like tiny patches here and there, but like tiny. The path that I run on is like completely clear. So yeah, that's fun. And I'm really happy the snow finally melted because it was just getting all brown and like depressed. Like the snow literally had depression, okay? I'm not kidding. So that's something I'm happy about. And then our book of the week. Okay. So I started a new book. I'll probably get to that next week. But well, I finished this. Okay. Daydream by Hannah Grace. She also wrote the book Icebreaker. That one's like really popular on like social media. So yeah, the whole Maple Hill series in general. Actually, I read Wildfire and I'm still waiting on Icebreaker from the library, but Daydream. I read this one. Okay, so Henry's procrastination. It lands him in a difficult class with his least favorite professor. Henry Turner knows he's going to have to try really hard to survive his junior year of college. And now as being the captain of the hockey team, Henry absolutely cannot fail. And then entering Hal Jacobs, and she's also a junior, whom Henry befriends when he accidentally crashes her book club. Hal might not have, and also I don't know if I'm saying her name right, Hall, whatever it is. It's spelled Halle, so I don't really know. Hal might not have the romantic pursuits of her favorite fictional leads or the experiences in the novel she's trying to write, but she's an academic superstar, and as soon as she hears about Henry's problems with his class, she offers to help. She knows that new experiences are the key to beating her self-doubt, and Henry's promising to be the one to give them to her. They just need to stick to their rule book, where item 4 reads, don't fall in love. So this is like a fun book. It's interesting because like right off the bat, it's so obvious, like so freaking obvious to every single person that they know. Besides Henry and Hal, that they're like low-key in love with each other. So it's a fun book. They do dumb things. At a certain point, and now my nose is like stuffing up, so I can barely breathe. So that's fun, but really good book overall. Yeah, that's that. Okay. So, oh gosh, 13 minutes. That was like the least I've ever had to say, but I took so long to say it. Okay. So, moving on. The first thing I want you to do is to really think about why winter sucks right now. Like, why does it feel like the worst time ever? Why is the only thing you have energy for is to stay in bed doom scrolling, even though you're pretty much just hitting yourself with a wrecking ball like that? Why is this happening to you right now? Like, really think about that. Talk to a friend or family member about it if you want. Like, journal about it if you don't like talking. Think about it some more if you don't want to do either of them. Do something that forces you to think, or like do something about why you feel this way right now. Might seem like the opposite thing to do, dwelling in the situation, but this is different. Thinking about why you're in a situation versus dwelling in it is like really different. So yeah, one of them's helpful, one of them's not. The only way to solve a problem is to find the root cause of it and actually deal with it sooner than later. And finding the root cause of it in this case involves thinking about it and doing something about it. So procrastinating this stuff is only going to give a problem more and more time, get bigger and bigger of a problem, and that's just going to make your life harder. So let's not make our lives harder, and that's why like procrastination sucks. But anyway, think about those questions, and you'll probably figure out what the heck is going on with you in your life. Maybe it's the weather. The weather is a big part of many people's winter blues because I know that's definitely true for me. And also because I don't actually using the lights in my room. This is stupid, but like I have a big window in my room. It takes up almost a whole one of my walls. So yeah, and I like the sunlight instead. I prefer the sunlight because it's also less harsh on your eyes, and I have astigmatism, so doing things to prevent eye strain is really important, and one of those things involves using natural light as much as possible and avoiding like harsh light. That's a rarity now. Go and check the forecast. Maybe it'll snow soon, and if you like snow, then good for you. I love the snow. You can go sledding, and you can have snowball fights, and you can make snow angels and do a whole bunch of other fun stuff. Maybe you don't like snow for some reason. Find some fun things to do inside. Cook or bake. Watch some movies. Play some board games, or maybe make some card games if that's what you're saying. Find some other things you can do without dealing with the cold. Maybe you can have like friends over, or go do something fun with your friends. Or what if you're lonely? Nobody likes getting up and out of the house and like actually going out and meeting people during the winter season. That just seems way too hard. But pull yourself up and put on a nice outfit, maybe a tiny bit of makeup, and go out and do something, whether it's by yourself or with someone. What really matters is the fact that you're going out and getting up and getting out of your house. That's really the point here. It doesn't matter what you do or what you do. Just even if you walk outside for like 5 minutes, I am proud of you. Okay, like someone cares, and I care. Plus, even if it feels like the most difficult and like the worst thing in the world, once you get out there, you're gonna start having fun, and that might motivate you to get out of the house more often. Figure out what's going on and make a list of some things you can do to help deal with it. Okay, so now that we've talked about why you might be having these like winter blues that suck, clearly, the next step is finding the positives. Even when it seems like the worst thing ever, there's always a bright side. If you flunked a test, you now know that you need to work on something a lot more to not flunk next time. If you burned yourself really bad with a hair straightener, now you know that you have to be a lot more careful when using a hair straightener. My friend did that last year. Following that same logic, being in the state of winter blues can teach you to find the positives in the season that a lot of people hate for valid reasons. There's all the cold weather, the sun sets at 4:30, not much sunlight in general, freezing cold in the house too, hard to go out, all the constant being inside, just being a freaking mom. And many more things that people hate. For me, the main reasons winter sucks is because of the super early sunsets and very little amounts of sunshine. Because I have to rush to eat food and do a bunch of other things before I like after school, and then I have to go on my run. And I still get home and it's like borderline dark. My mom's still freaking out. She stopped freaking out like a month into that, but yeah, thankfully. What else? Also, although being inside and like being lonely is kind of boring because especially in like December and parts of January, everyone's doing stuff for the holidays. And I don't celebrate Christmas, and I don't really do anything for New Year's that much. Like we stay up late, we bake a cake, we watch like the Times Square thing on the news, but that's pretty much it. Just not really anything much. So I'm lonely, and that sucks. Like I have my family, but yeah. There are also lots of positives about winter. There's winter break. There's my birthday. There's all the Christmas decorations, which are really pretty, and snow, the upcoming New Year. Also, writing the New Year content for this podcast is pretty fun. Colder weather also means less acne problems. Like my skin is clearer in winter than it has been like ever. Um, the comfy clothes like jeans and sweatshirts. The local library also has a book sale every winter. I love the book sale. I went 2 weeks ago, something. They also do it in the summer, and I went with my mom year before last. But people donate books, and if they're paperback, they're sold for $1, and if they're hardback, they're sold for $2. So super cheap. I remember I got a bunch of books when I went in the summer. Some of them I haven't even read them yet, and it's been like a while. So that's another thing I should probably do soon. Okay, so I went pretty off track there for a bit, but my point still stands. There's probably also a ton of other random things I can't think of right now. Oh, and like all the winter festivals. Maybe your town has some sort of like annual winter festival. You could go to that. But I just listed a ton of things that are positives about the winter season. You can probably relate to at least one of these things. Even if I haven't listed it, there has got to be at least one thing you like about winter. Okay, one, please. Find it and do it, or like enjoy it, or whatever. Okay. Alright, so moving past like reflection and onto some things you can actually do to get out of these winter blues. First one is the hardest, but probably one of the best things you can do is make plans with people. I feel like during that time of Thanksgiving and Christmas, as well as New Year's, and maybe even sometime after that, it's super duper easy to stay in touch with people because of all the holiday gatherings and parties and thingamabobs going on. Maybe you have to do things to prepare for these events with people. Doesn't matter. You're always around people. But after that, starting maybe like the third week of January, when the like silence and dead schedule gets kind of boring, through the sort of spring, it's like really hard to stay in touch with people because like everyone has friends, okay? Even the most quiet and introverted person you can think of probably has at least one friend. I'm a full blown extrovert, so if I stay alone and do things with friends for a while, like honestly even one weekend, I get kind of depressed and low energy. But everyone has people, maybe family members. Go and call up one of your family members and ask if they're interested in doing something with you. Just text people. We're on our phones all the time anyways, and this is exactly what texting is for, so if you can use it. Honestly, lots of people, right now are probably in the same tired and lonely and kind of dead situation that you're in right now, so they're most likely going to say yes. There's a much higher chance of people saying yes than them saying no. And if they say no, so what? Find someone else to do things with. And if someone ever asks you to like go out and do something, never say no unless you absolutely can't make it because you're like sick or some random important prior commitment was made. Maybe you got like work or something. I don't know. There's tons of things you can do with people. You can go to the mall, you can go to a coffee shop or a boba place, or maybe if the weather's absolutely crappy, you can bundle up and go for a cold walk. Going on a walk is a good way to get some exercise, and also these are all great ways to get up and go socialize with people. Move your body. Most people usually go to like a gym or take workout classes to stay active, but in winter that might be kind of harder because you don't want to get up and like you have to get changed into workout clothes and stuff, and you don't want to go out. Especially like runners or people who just exercise outside for the most part, like me. I run 5 days a week and I walk on the other 2 days, so every single day there's an outdoor workout. I add some strength training as well on Tuesdays and Fridays, and right now also Sunday because I'm trying to fix my recent like muscle loss situation. I should try to stretch every other day, and that's pretty much my exercise plan, like every week. Most of it's outside. I used to run 30 minutes on those running days, but now I only run like 20 minutes to lose less muscle, and I'm trying to get back up to 30 minutes on every day besides Tuesday, on every running day actually, besides Tuesday and Friday, because those are the days I strength train. So if I run less, that means I can strength train a little more and hopefully prevent muscle loss. So I don't know, I'm working on it. Um, I was considering cutting running down to 4 days a week, but in the time that I would have done that, it was snowing. My path was like snowed in. I could not run, so never had to do that. Um, yeah, so that's fun. I've been trying to keep up with walking though, but physical activity is just so important, especially now when all you want to do is be lumped and lie down in bed or on the couch and watch TV or scroll on social media. You have to keep finding fun ways to move your body, ideally every single day. I mean, you don't want to go to the gym for like 2 hours every day, lift super heavy weights. Like, you don't want to lift 200 pounds and all that. Like, I don't do that. I can't do that. I don't even weigh 200 pounds. I weigh not even 100 actually. You can literally just go to walk or stretch or do some yoga things on YouTube. Oh, speaking of YouTube, there's so many free workout videos on YouTube. Most people don't work out regularly because they think you have to have a gym membership. Like, you gotta go to the gym or you gotta do like, or you gotta pay for classes. And honestly, those things can be kind of expensive sometimes. But you really don't need one when YouTube exists. There's this YouTube channel called MadFit, and there's tons and tons of good workout videos for every single thing you can possibly think of. He has videos for every single skill level and duration, from a 5 minute leg workout to a 45-minute strength training workout, like 5 minute cool down stretch for after your workouts to prevent soreness and injury. All the video workouts I do are from MadFit, and I love it. So that's another tip to get moving in the winter. Literally just turn on the TV with the twist of moving around instead. Just get moving however the heck you want, and ideally pretty often, like every day. Cooking or baking some kind of comfort food. So comfort food is amazing. Maybe not the most healthy, but I honestly don't think anyone cares about that right now. Like, we need comfort, okay? It's winter, everything's kind of depressing, and we need a mood booster like stat. So get up and find the recipe for your favorite comfort foods and cook or bake them. I know my favorite comfort foods are like super creamy and cheesy mac and cheese, the kind that would give me breakouts. Let's see, chocolate cakes, lasagna, the like, any kind of cookies too. Brownies. I recently discovered this like eggless brownie recipe and I'm obsessed. I was gonna make them earlier today, but just kind of like spaced, and I would have had to walk to the grocery store anyway. And it was getting kind of dark already, so I was like, well, I still have to do my hair and yada yada. Okay, I'm rambling now. Pretty much anything with either too much cheese or sugar is my favorite comfort food. And like the saying goes, everything in moderation. Having some mac and cheese once isn't gonna kill you unless you're like deadly allergic to it or something. So have some fun and have your favorite comfort food. You can literally just curl up in a blanket and have some comfort food. But on the other hand, if you know very well that you're having whatever comfort food, it maybe like it's gonna make you even more tired and low energy than before. Please do not have that food. We are trying to get out of our winter blues, not push ourselves into them even deeper. I know at least for me, it would boost me right up. It really depends on the person. So if you're the type of person who making and eating these comfort foods would do more harm than good, then try to find some yummy but healthy recipes for food. Sometimes a home cooked meal is just all you need to get that mood boost. Other things like there's so many healthy cookie recipes. Like I've been seeing these healthy like high protein versions of crumble cookies all over Instagram, and I'm seriously considering trying them. Um, don't know if they have egg though, so I have to consider that. But yeah, I'm seriously considering trying these. Like I saw these peanut butter brownie bites where the base was just like avocados or something. So those look really good, and I'm thinking of trying those. Yeah, there's like healthy mac and cheese recipes and all that everywhere on Instagram and social media in general. Maybe for you, making healthy comfort food just means making a few ingredient swaps. There are tons of things you can do to make food a little bit healthier. Make a vegetable stew if that's something that interests you. Whatever floats your boat. I honestly don't care what you do as long as it's the food you love and it makes you happy. You should never ever feel guilty about something that makes you happy. Like if it makes you happy, then it does, and you should be able to enjoy that without feeling guilty. Just everything in moderation, you know? Like I would feel really guilty if I ate 50 grams of sugar like every single day for a year straight. Like that's not what I mean. But if I eat too much sugar like one day, I'm not gonna worry about it because I just get back on track the next day. Like what was that thing? Okay, I'm still reading the book Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin, and there's this thing. She's like, slipping up is not that big of a deal, but it also is a very big deal. Like it depends on what you do in that situation. Like if I slip up with my sugar, then I just get back on track the next day. But if someone was just like, oh, I ate too much sugar today, I might as well just blow it for the rest of my life. Like that's gonna hurt you. Okay, you're gonna feel guilty about that. So no. Yeah, so get up and go put a Christmas movie on, or light some candles and put on some cute pajamas, and then go cook your food, finish up the movie, and have at it. Great way to improve your mood, and never ever ever has failed me. Okay, number 4 or 5 or something, not important. But starting a new hobby. So I've mentioned it in a few different episodes, but I recently really realized that I don't really have that many hobbies anymore. I used to have tons and tons of hobbies when I was younger, but now I have literally none. I have very basic and trivial hobbies, like I play soccer, I run, I like to read, I cook and bake sometimes. Very basic stuff and not really that interesting. So I made it my New Year's resolution to try 10 new hobbies or hobbies that I want to get back into. I don't want to actually keep all those hobbies. Maybe just like 3 so that I'll like really stick with. But just to test them out, like test recipe. But people with hobbies are always such interesting people, and I feel like if I could say to someone, "Oh yeah, in my free time, oh yeah, I do all, oh yeah, I do this and I do this and I do that. Oh, I also do this in my free time," it would make me seem a lot interesting than, oh, what do I do in my free time? I don't really know. Maybe just like scroll on Instagram, watch TV, just boring stuff, not really much. Like that's not gonna make you seem like a very interesting person. Um, like the one that makes me seem like that one makes me seem really boring and lifeless. So that's my New Year's resolution to like become more interesting and become more lively. I guess that's not really a word, but like more having more of a life. I guess I don't know. Like doing more things with my free time. That's what it is. To become a more lively person. So like, why not spend that free time doing something fun and useful instead of like just being sad? I don't know. I mean, if you're staying inside all the time anyway during winter, you're gonna have a ton of free time. So you can put it towards something useful and beneficial, and ideally screen less because we spend too much time on screens these days. If you think we don't. Don't watch TV all day because that's just depressing. There are tons and tons of hobby ideas out there that you can try. I really want to make an episode on hobbies. I think that'll be the episode for 2 weeks from now. Um, on hobbies, like once all the New Year's content dies down. It did die down, thankfully, but like I don't know, maybe 2 weeks from now I'll have that episode. I don't really know when. Because it kind of goes with like spending more time alone, like having hobbies. So I might do that the week after next. You could start painting or running. Maybe you can join a local league for a sport or cooking or hiking, fishing. What else is there? Reading. You can take up like brain puzzles. That's fun. What else? And one more thing for like any creative hobbies you may want to start, just go on michael.com and go to like the classes and events section. There are tons and tons of free online classes that you can take, and most of them are for beginners, and you can make really cool stuff with almost no skills. And you should never buy anything off the list they provide unless it's like something very specific. You can go to like Dollar Tree or Walmart and you can buy that stuff for a fraction of the price. What else? Yeah, trust me on that. But there are tons of hobbies you can start. There are also tons of hobbies you can start for absolutely free, like running, or film photography, or reading, or writing stories. Plenty of things to do for no money at all. I used to be like 10 or so hobbies you can start. I want you to find at least one hobby that you're interested, just one. And then go and use your spare time this winter to do that. You're probably gonna have a lot of fun. Great mood booster too. Something else that kind of pays off my last idea is starting a hobby is to start a winter scrapbook. Scrapbooking is super duper time consuming and it takes a ton of time and steps and planning out to do it. It's not just slapping photos onto pages and making it look presentable. First, you have to buy supplies. To start, my beginner's list of supplies is an album, preferably 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12 because that's the album size. Most supplies like cardstock and page protectors are made for those standard sizes. Michael's and Joanne and Hobby Lobby craft stores like those always have some sort of random sales going on, so you're bound to find something that's pretty good for cheap. Or you can just go on Amazon and find something pretty damn cheap. Next, you're gonna need like some cute cardstock and scrapbook paper. My all-time favorite cardstock is any of the recollection scrapbook cardstock books from Michael's. There are tons and tons of amazing prints you can choose out that'll work for any style and any colors you want. The cardstock is amazing quality and is acid free, so it's perfect for scrapbooking. Going back to supplies, you'll need stickers are optional but preferable because you can add a nice touch to your scrapbook. An edge rounder can help you cut round edges on your photos to make them look nicer and make them less prone to ripping. Not really necessary, but it's useful and not even that expensive. I got mine for $7 on Amazon. Stamps and stamping is another thing. I don't really like stamps because I stain stuff with the ink no matter how careful I am, and I don't know how to do that. I just do. Like, I literally got ink in my hair one time. I'm like, oh, what the heck? But if I'm going to add a little touch to your scrapbooks, photo paper is another one. You can choose between glossy photo paper and a matte photo paper. I personally think that the glossy photo paper is better because it looks neater and like the shine you get is nice, but you can choose a matte one if you'd like. What else? Okay, I think that's pretty much it for scrapbooking, and also you may want to buy a printer. I don't know. I feel like if this is the only thing you're gonna use a printer for, you're better off just printing out your photos at like the local drugstore or like libraries have printers you can borrow if you pay for the prints. But yeah, you can just do that. But if you're thinking of buying a printer anyway, just might as well get it now because why keep procrastinating it? So yeah, that's that. Pretty sure that's it for scrapbooking supplies, but it's something fun you can try. Next thing is getting as much sun exposure as you possibly can. In the winter, there's very limited daytime. The actual sunset is at like 4:50 or something, but it starts to get dark around 4:30. So my mom gave up. That's the reason my mom gave up on trying to get me to come home before it's dark for my runs because I leave when it's getting dark now. So that's fun. And I have big windows in my room, which is why, depending on the season, that's the reason my room either feels like a million degrees in the summer, like it will be the hottest room in the house in the summer, or like -4 degrees in the winter. So it's the coldest room in the winter. So that's a fun time. But when you do get some sunshine, it's like a tall glass of water in the Sahara and you ran out of water. It's rare, and you should enjoy it. I know that when it's like 60 degrees outside, it was 60 degrees outside and sunny earlier in December, which should be concerning, but I don't really care anymore. It's literally below freezing and snowing 1 week, and sunny and practically spring the next. Weather is crazy right now, but getting outside is scientifically proven to reduce feelings of sadness and significantly boost your mood and energy levels because there's just something about natural light and sunshine and just being outside, even if it's not sunny outside, that just does the trick. Besides opening a window, what's even better is getting yourself bundled up and outside, maybe going on a walk. Seems next to impossible, and I get that. It was really, really hard for me to go on my runs last week because it was so damn cold and depressing. I was honestly happy for once that I got my period because it meant I couldn't run. I literally cannot do intense exercise on my period, at least the first 2 days, because it's painful, and also you're not really supposed to do really intense exercise when you're on your period. So that's fun, and I get how hard it is to get outside during the winter, and because of my runs and walks, and it's okay to feel that way, but bundling up and going on a walk, or maybe a run, or even just sitting on your balcony and reading a book can really help you boost your mood. After the chill wore off on my freezing cold runs not last week, like a while ago, I actually felt really good. Pretty sure me spending time outside when it's cold is the reason my skin has remained so clear despite all the sugar and junk I've been eating and actively trying to avoid now since my birthday actually. But just get your butt up and go outside. Open a window, get as much natural light exposure as you possibly can. It'll also help your sleep better, which might just also give you some more energy. This is kind of a crazy and difficult and expensive idea, but going on a vacation. Hear me out on this one. If you've been inside complaining about how cold it is and how depressing it is outside and how it feels like there's absolutely nothing to do now besides be alone with a blanket or 10 and watch TV, it might be beneficial to have a change your location for a while. I know not everyone has the means of planning a vacation because it's super expensive, and you might just have work or some other life circumstances that prevent you from being able to go on vacation. But in the winter time, since it's the off season, everything is significantly cheaper once you get past those Christmas and New Year's rushes. So maybe plan a trip for like January or February when it's like low demand and peak for winter blues. Perfect timing. Try planning your vacation in a place maybe closer to the equator because those places are generally warmer throughout the whole year. You might not even have to leave the country if you don't want to because there are places that are warm year round. Heck, you don't even have to leave your state if you don't want to. The excitement and anticipation of that upcoming trip can lift your spirits as soon as you book it, and through those few weeks of planning and researching, packing, all that stuff, it's just like the excitement. Then when you're actually on the trip, it can boost your mood even more, and that feeling lasts for a couple of weeks afterwards too. And that can get you through most of the winter because after that you can look forward to spring's coming up. Oh yay! So that'll get you out of your winter blues pretty well. What else? So I know that vacations are pretty expensive though, so another alternative is to do staycation. For those of you who have never heard of this, I heard of this very recently actually. Basically plan a few day trips to some fun places nearby, maybe one of those per day for a few days, but for like a week straight. You leave early every morning and come back late every night. Basically your home becomes a hotel. This is far cheaper and can actually be really fun if you plan it right. So to make this easier, I'll list some steps. First off, now that you know what it is, make a list of fun places that are up to maybe 5 hours away. Nah, I feel like that's too much for a day trip. 3 to 4 hours away. I feel like that's good. Yeah. I mean, 5 hours, you might have to get up really early and come back like really late, but if it's something that's worth it to you, then go right ahead. My list would be something like, there's like this beach about 2 hours away, but kind of irrelevant unless you want to have like a winter picnic and watch the sunset. Actually, wait, that's not a bad idea. So nothing much to do. There's Great Falls National Park half an hour away. Shenandoah National Park is about 2 hours away. Oh, Manassas Battlefield / like historic town, that's about half an hour away. There's even this like historic part of Leesburg that people from hours away come to see, and I live 15 minutes away from. Colonial Williamsburg is about 3 hours away, and Great Wolf Lodge in Williamsburg is also 3 hours away. Great Wolf Lodge, Maryland is also about 3 hours away. Both of those are indoor water parks, so you can go year round, always fun, and it's significantly cheaper in the winter. There's also Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, 3 hours away. Six Flags in Maryland. Malls could be an option for an activity that takes a few hours if that's something that interests you. What else? There's tons more fun things I can think of, but make your own list of fun places near you. Next up is to do online research for any of the information you may need for this trip, like how far away are these places, information about tickets and admission costs, maps, or just other random stuff, food, what to pack, the like. Maybe you need to print some things. Make a page of notes about all this stuff and keep it accessible, preferably something in your notes app or maybe a Google Doc. Next step is figuring out what you're doing on what days and making kind of like an itinerary. Then you can go back and tie up any knots, finalize bookings and tickets and stuff, and start packing and doing all the trip yada yada you have to do. Just stuff that's to be done before you on a trip. But that's the probably most difficult way to beat your winter blues. Something you can try doing is having a glow up day. There are tons and tons of these like 24-hour glow up challenges, or glow up with me in a day, or how to glow up in 24 hours videos on YouTube. But having a glow up day is actually so much fun, and I used to do these all the time. I did them like the day before school, the day before my birthday, before vacation, before any like really important event actually. I haven't done one of these in almost 2 years though, and I really should start doing them again because they are the best. For starters, they are so much fun. And fun will get your head out of those winter blues you're in. Plus, you'll stay pretty busy, and staying busy will also take your mind off the winter blues and the confidence boost you get after doing the glow up day, and you also feel like that confidence boost for days afterward. It's like amazing. Just do every single self-care, like beauty care thing you can think of. Hair masks, face masks, getting your hair and nails done, or painting your nails at home, everything, shower, exfoliate, shave, moisturize, all this fun things. what I did for my glow up day was like I would oil my hair and then I would do a workout like normal, everything shower, so like washing my hair, exfoliating, shaving, doing my moisturizer afterwards, all that stuff. Like face masks and then maybe some sort of like lip mask or lip.
Or like a lip treatment, painting my nails, or just filing them down and making them look pretty. All that stuff. It takes forever, and you feel really good for a while afterwards, like a couple days, couple weeks. It sounds like it would be kind of expensive, but it really isn't. You don't have to make it expensive. If you want to, you can do a budget-friendly version if you wish. So, too many reasons to not have one of these. Well, no, too many reasons to do one of these. So, like, go do it. That was worded wrong. Okay, so music. Music honestly makes like everything better, including all the sucky things we unfortunately have to deal with sometimes, like cleaning or these stupid winter blues. But just blasting some music really loud and dancing or singing your heart out, no matter how silly and idiotic you feel, is sometimes just a perfect mood booster. No one's gonna care if you look like a total idiot or sound like one, but you can play some music that you really love and create a new playlist of music to listen to for when you're bored of life, like with the winter blues. Plus, music is scientifically proven, and there were a ton of studies conducted on this, plus personal experience from me. But music is known to help increase your mood drastically, so why not? Okay, so those were all my tips to help you deal with winter blues. Now, to end our episode today, I have a quote for you guys from an unknown author. It goes, even in the darkest, well, let me restart. Even the darkest winter will eventually melt into spring. Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Please, please, please go follow me on Instagram and drink some water. And I love you all.